So Helldivers 2, which is a third-person PlayStation console exclusive, has finally launched. It came out on Thursday, but I had to work, so I didn't play it until yesterday, and it is incredibly fun. I never knew that finding launch codes in a mission and launching a nuke on the other side of like a continent or whatever would be this much fun, but it is, and I am having a ton of fun with this game. So what is Helldivers 2 all about? Like I said, it's a third-person shooter, but if you just tap R3, when you're shooting, you can go into a first-person shooter mode, but only while you're aiming. So it's still kind of like an over-the-shoulder third-person shooter. You're basically like a space marine, and you are fighting off, I forget what the race is called, but basically these giant bugs, and also the automatons, which are kind of like these Terminator style droid robot things. They have like tanks, AT-ATs, lightsaber chainsaws. The bugs, some of them, not all of them, are armored, so you have to shoot them in a specific place. And the whole idea is to spread democracy around the universe, and anyone who agrees, you start a war and you kill them. It is a co-op game, so you drop in pods of 4. You can play this game solo, but one, it would be extremely difficult to do that, and also it's way more fun when you actually play in a pod of 4. And if you don't have 3 other friends who have the game, you can always just do quick play and hop into a quick lobby with some randoms. That's kind of fun too. So for play styles, of course you have different weapon classes. You have pistols, shotguns, marksman rifles, a few other different types, I think. So when you drop on a planet, well, actually, let's talk about the planets first. They're all procedurally generated. You have different terrains, like snowy maps, forests, kind of tropical environments. It could be daytime, nighttime. Also, when you blow something up, it leaves a huge crater in the ground and it stays there. So it can actually end up providing you cover later if you go back to that same spot. And every time you drop, you have a certain amount of minutes to complete the mission. I don't think I've ever seen lower than 20, and I don't think I've ever seen higher than 40. So sometime in there to complete the mission. And it could be, I don't know, protect a base, blow up their communication centers, find launch codes, open the hatch for the nuke, and then launch the nuke. Like a search and rescue, an escort mission, all types of different missions. This game has a lot of customization as well. The one that I'm using here is just because I pre-ordered the game, but there are a ton of customization options. For the guns, well, not the guns, but for your character. And let's see, there's so much to talk about in this game. Let's talk about the stratagems. So when you call things down from your airship or your destroyer, whatever it's called, it could be either like an airstrike, a mini nuke. You could call down other weapons that you don't drop with, like a turret gun, a machine gun. It could either be more ammo, because that also is something you have to pay attention to in this game. It's not like Call of Duty where when you reload a magazine and you haven't used all of the bullets, you still keep that same number. If you reload and that magazine still has bullets in it, you just lose those bullets. So you should only reload when you actually run out of bullets. And it's just the strategy of it all. Friendly fire is always turned on in this game, so your teammates can kill you. I haven't run into any trolls where they intentionally do that. I don't think people do, and I think you can kick people from a squad in this game if they are doing it, but I mean, everybody's playing the game the way they're supposed to. Nobody's really doing that. I chose this mission to show first because you can go to different difficulties, and we were absolutely not ready for this difficulty. My shotgun was destroying these things in, I think, the level 3 difficulty. But once we went to like 4 and I think maybe even 5, my shotgun did absolutely nothing. And it's not even the weapons, it's mainly the armor. The armor does have stats. They don't just look pretty. They're not just cosmetic. And again, this is just like the day 1 armor that I got for pre-ordering the game. So it didn't protect me as much as some of the other armor sets will. I don't think they drastically make a difference. But I think they do give you certain boosts here and there, especially depending on the terrain you pick. Another thing, when you call in stratagems, they can kill your teammates. Even if you just call in a supply drop, if it lands on a teammate, they will die. But you can also try to make it land on these bug things in the enemies as well. Also on this map, if you run into a place that has deep snow, your character will run so much slower. So again, there's a lot of strategy. So many things to think about in this game. It's kind of crazy how much detail went into it. So after you do finish a mission and you get to the extraction point, well, once you start the extraction process, it's like a 2-minute wait period, and you end up having to fend off like hordes of enemies, because once you try to extract, after you complete the mission, they all come for you. And some of these bugs are not as big as other. I've seen bugs that are way bigger than the ones that we fought on this map. Also, it's like biological stuff as well. If these bugs like spit on you, they slow you down, they make you run slower. You can heal yourself, but your team only has a certain amount of those, and you also only have a certain amount of times that you can basically use a stratagem to call like a reinforcement. That's what it's called, which is basically just reviving a teammate. Let's see. What else do I need to talk about? Oh, just the graphics themselves. For this to be such a cheap game at this price point, which was $40 that is, this game looks incredible. It plays incredible, so much attention to detail. It has a ton of replayability. It is a console exclusive, so it's not on Xbox, but it is on PlayStation 5 and PC, so it does have crossplay. If you have friends on PC or PlayStation 5, you can play together. But you can also just play with randoms, which is fun as well. I will say you should probably have mics turned on, just because you need way too much coordination to try to type in the in-game chat in real time. It's way easier if you just talk to your teammates. This was like my second or third time playing with other people for this particular map. One thing I will say, I did try to do the first mission by myself. One, it just wasn't as fun without other people, and because the whole thing is built around co-op, that's how it's meant to be played. But also, you just get overwhelmed. There are so many enemies, and depending on what kind of weapon you have, some of them take a lot longer to reload. I think that's how they kind of balance them. Like if you have a really powerful machine gun, you can't, it's kind of like real life. You can't move and reload that at the same time. Call of Duty is so unrealistic in that aspect. Even real soldiers in real life do not run and reload a machine gun like that. And also, like, you can only carry realistic stuff around with you. You're not carrying a turret on your back. You have to call in the stratagem for it. I do like a lot of the different weapons in this game, though. So there is one that I haven't unlocked yet that I really can't wait to use. It's A stratagem, again, you can't carry it around because it's way too heavy, but you call it in, and basically you or your teammate are carrying the actual launcher part of the weapon, and the teammate has to carry the ammunition for it. And it is heavy, so it does weigh you down, but I think it's just a cool concept that you have to work together just to shoot the weapon, but it is very, very powerful. It's like almost like a mini nuke. It's not that powerful. They actually do have mini nukes and nukes in this game, but it's an incredibly powerful weapon, and you have to kind of coordinate and make sure that your teammate isn't across the map when you try to use this weapon. There's just a lot to think about. I mean, what else can I say about it? It's fun, it's cheap, it's not the usual $70 for a game. It has a lot of replayability. The cosmetics are, I would say they're pretty varied. I think we're all just using the same skin because this is the one that we got for pre-ordering. So, I mean, it's black and gold, it looks nice, we just wanted to use it. But I think as people start to level up, they will start to individualize how they look. I know I certainly will. I don't necessarily want to look like everybody else. I just like this particular skin right now. That's why I'm using it. The weapon that I'm partial to right now is the shotgun. The shotgun is so fun to use in this game, but all of the guns are. And they're out of depth, so I can't wait to try out even more. I'll still be uploading Mortal Kombat videos, but this as well, you know, just any game that I'm playing at the time, you'll see me upload those videos, so you can look forward to more of this game and Mortal Kombat 1. I will see you guys in the next video.